Levi Strauss & Company, the world's largest brand name apparel manufacturer, gave the world blue jeans and grew enormously rich on this piece of U.S. culture. Levi Strauss markets apparel in more than 60 countries, and it has 53 production facilities and 32 customer service centers in 49 countries. The company operates wholly owned businesses in most European countries, in South Africa, Australia, and Japan, and operates through joint ventures and licensing agreements in a host of other countries. Besides its well-known Levi brand products, the company markets clothing and accessories under the brand names Dockers and Britannia. Levi Strauss, born in Bavaria in 1829, emigrated to the United States with his family in 1847 at the age of 18. In New York, he was met by his two half-brothers, who had already established a dry goods business. Jeans, which would become a staple of the family business, were invented when Levi Strauss noted the need for rugged pants for miners. By 1977, Levi Strauss & Company had become the largest clothing maker in the world. In addition to its original products, the company had grown through acquisitions and also licensed its name to be used on other products such as shoes and socks. Sales doubled in just 4 years to $2 billion in 1979. The company ran into difficulties in the early 1980s, however, as the demand for denim stabilized and its profits flattened. Attempting to increase its distribution, the company reached agreements with several mass merchandisers, including JCPenney and Sears, to market its products. Nonetheless, earnings dropped by nearly 25% in 1981, and the company undertook another reorganization, which included the elimination of one level of corporate management. Profits continued to plummet in 1982, and the company shut down 9 plants, eliminating 2,000 jobs. By 1996, Levi Strauss had fought its way out of debt, and the company announced it would undertake a leveraged buyout later in the year to concentrate its stock in fewer hands. The company believed that the American market would continue to grow and believed they would flourish.
Levi Strauss & Company has been a leader among U.S.-based corporations in recognizing the importance of business ethics and community relationships since their inception. 2 1987 documents developed by management summarize the unique values operating at Levi Strauss & Company. The mission statement affirms the importance of ethical and social responsibility, while the aspiration statement, or vision statement, lists the values intended to guide both individual and corporate decisions. This directly correlates with the first step in ethical decision-making as outlined in Chapter 5 of our text, as recognizing that an ethical issue requires an individual or work group to choose among several actions that will ultimately be evaluated as ethical or unethical by various stakeholders. Levi Strauss & Company extends liberal domestic partner benefits, offers flexible work programs, and has established child care voucher programs for employees in need. The company has also earned a reputation as an industry leader in facing controversial social issues, and was one of the first companies to establish programs to support AIDS victims. Integrity has always been at the heart of how they operate and is one of Levi Strauss & Company's core corporate values. For more than 155 years, they have demonstrated the highest ethical standards in the conduct of their business. Their code of ethics includes a worldwide code of business conduct, which reflects their commitment to manage their business affairs reasonably. It offers guidance to their employees on a host of potential business situations and emphasizes the importance of making business decisions through the lens of their values. The Worldwide Code of Business Conduct specifically covers a wide range of business practices, but does not cover every issue that may arise. Instead, it sets out basic principles to guide all employees of the company. Levi Strauss & Company made the Ethisphere list of most ethical companies in 2014 and 2015. The list is based upon Ethisphere's proprietary rating system that includes a series of multiple choice questions incorporating 5 core categories. An initial EQ score is derived through a proprietary matrix of relationships between answers to given questions and a set of complex formulas based on demographic qualifiers. Supporting documentation is then reviewed to verify the self-reported EQ score. The self-reported EQ score is often adjusted based on documentation review and independent research. Each candidate then receives a validated EQ score. A few awards that have been granted to Levi Strauss in recent years that have played a large part in why they were included in the Ethisphere list in 2014 and 2015 are the Human Rights Campaign Best Places to Work of 2015, the Outfest Legacy Award, the Guardian Award in 2014, Human Rights Campaign Best Places to Work in 2014, Global Citizenship Award for Improving Workers' Well-Being Program from the Silicon Valley Community Foundation in 2013, the 2013 NCRP Impact Award for improving the lives of disadvantaged people in the area of HIV and AIDS, asset building, workers' rights and well-being, and social justice.
One important concern of Levi Strauss & Company is protecting its branding. Within the company, there is a high regard for employees and the communities where they live and work. The company's mission is to consistently meet or exceed the legal, ethical, commercial, and other expectations that society has of business. According to Levi Strauss & Company, ethics is to be a ground rule and not just a factor in decision making. A principle reasoning approach was adopted to help solve problems. Principle reasoning, which draws on concepts from the Sermon on the Mount, holds that a company which honors the proper cultural, legal, and economic principles is like a house built on rock, which puts it at an inherently lower level of risk, while a company which does not honor the proper principles is like a house built on a foundation of sand and is at inherently a higher risk. In 1991, after several managers suspected that the business practices employed by some of Levi Strauss & Company's overseas contractors were not consistent with the company's values, a 12-person sourcing guidelines working group was set up. The goal of the group was to determine what standards the company should expect of its contractors worldwide. In 1992, the group had developed the Business Partner Terms of Engagement and the Guidelines for Country Selection, which was designed to establish standards for the contractors in the areas of worker health and safety, employment practices, ethics, the environment, and human rights. They set out to inform contractors' employers worldwide about the guidelines, and if contractors did not abide by the agreed deadline, their relationship with Levi Strauss & Company would be terminated. We see this played out in Levi Strauss & Company's relationship with China. China's human rights record was considered among the worst in the world. The human rights violations were severe, and political rights and civil liberties were non-existent. Levi Strauss wanted to be consistent with their mission and standards. The company has decided to end much of its business dealings in China because of this. With China being one of the world's fastest growing economies, a great business opportunity was passed up by Levi's in order to maintain the ethical standards. As a company, they believed that they could not operate in China without compromising their values and ethical deeds, so they withdrew. Levi Strauss & Company is guided by their values: empathy, originality, integrity, and courage. With them in mind, Levi Strauss constantly strives to build a culture just as inspiring as the people who wear them. With a long history of caring both for the communities in which employees work and live, and for the environment, they state, "We believe that making a mark in the world is about what you do, but also how you do it. We like to say that our company and products are made of progress, in part because we have a long history of firsts, of leading, of making a difference. People are at the center of our success. Whether it's our employees around the world, the apparel workers who make our clothes, or the people who wear our products, we are committed to doing right by all of them." The culture of Levi Strauss & Company is fueled by strong values, creativity, and hard work. Levi Strauss & Company executives state, "Using innovative, sustainable, and progressive practices isn't just how we make our jeans and other products. It's a principle, how we value all our work. We care deeply about doing the right thing. It's why we're working to build sustainability into everything we do. That's why we joined the Better Cotton Initiative, which is committed to growing cotton in a way that's healthier for communities and the environment. And it's also why we're producing water-less jeans, made with significantly less water. We want to make sure our company is encouraging a healthy world and a better future. At Levi Strauss & Company, we're dedicated to product and are constantly in motion." Levi Strauss & Company has proven some of their statements by the integration of their factories before law had required it, and continuing to engage with communities whenever they could, from implementing HIV and AIDS employee education, to championing equality for women and girls, to supporting communities around the world where employees live and work. Levi Strauss & Company also started the Red Tab Foundation, an industry first, which provided a financial safety net for company employees, retirees, and their families. Over the years, Levi Strauss & Company has established a strong program to assess how well their suppliers are meeting their quota, and when they identify problems, how to improve them. They have also learned that monitoring their suppliers is only one part of improving working conditions. In addition to working directly with their suppliers, Levi Strauss & Company has programs in the communities to strengthen workers' rights, and they even work with governments to strengthen labor laws and their enforcement. Levi Strauss & Company employs full-time factory assessors located around the world wherever their suppliers are. These experts understand the scope of their labor, environment, health and safety standards, and are familiar with the local languages, laws, cultures, and business contexts of each country in which they are employed. They conduct regular assessments of every factory contracted to manufacture LS & Co. products. These assessments are based on standards found in the Sustainability Guidebook, which all Levi Strauss & Company suppliers receive in their local language. These assessments involve on-site and off-site discussions with workers, management interviews, review of factory records, and environment, health, and safety inspections.
Levi Strauss & Company has had some issues regarding alleged tax and accounting fraud activities, discrimination towards employees, and illegally dumped garment waste by certain manufacturers. Despite these issues, all of which Levi Strauss has responded to, the company passes the ethical litmus test, priding themselves on their ethical conduct within and outside of the company itself.